Okay, so last week I had this idea, just kind of going through one of the apps that I have, actually Fish Rules, and just looking at all the common things I build over and over again that I've built in Fish Rules that I've also built in other startups and other companies and even other side projects. So this is kind of just a question, and then I want to kind of put out the idea and get feedback. So that's what the whole point of this video is, to get feedback. So let me tell you the problem, the repeating problem. So the repeating problem is apps need the same things over and over and over again. Cloud primitives provide things that apps need over and over again: storage, compute, runtime. Auth is another example. Maybe that's a cloud primitive. Maybe there's debate on that. I don't know. But you still need to build stuff around those primitives. Obviously, you have to do that. But then there's other things that are application things that you do over and over again. API checks. You stand up Redis so you can do like likes and upvotes. So there's lots of things like that, generating IDs. For example, in Fish Rules and a couple other apps that I've worked on, I always need like a point and polygon algorithm where we go through these polygons, figure out if you're in them spatially or not, and then true or false. It repeats that. So just things like that. And a lot of times when you spin these things up, when you do them, like a feature flags are example. If you want to roll your own feature flags, you have to have some infrastructure, Redis, for example, or if you're doing upvotes or little histogram things really quick. A lot of times Redis is a great example of that. So you have to stand that up somewhere or use Upstash, which is amazing, by the way. You still have to stand something up and maintain it. And I'm always asking myself when I stand this, I got to maintain this plus this plus this. And all of a sudden you've proliferated all these app specific things, not necessarily cloud primitives, but like app primitives is really kind of what I'm talking about. So if there's app primitives, could there be a platform for app primitives, a micro platform, for example? So a platform that doesn't try to tackle cloud primitives, but just higher level things. Actually, Firebase is a good example. There's a lot of stuff that is like in between cloud and app, and that's kind of where Firebase lives. A great example is their feature flags. So their feature flags are something that if you wanted to do on your own, you have to roll it with Redis or some in-memory thing, something that's really fast, and you check those feature flags, turn them off and on. So I think feature flags is a great example of an app primitive. That's kind of where I'm getting at. So that's kind of the repeating problem, just to kind of lead the witness here. And what could and I'm asking the question, what could a micro platform look like? How would it behave? Would it be like a smorgasbord of a ton of different services, hundreds of little tiny services, discrete functions or something that you can just call, you get it back. You don't have to include it in your app. You don't have to npm install a package. It's something that you just have one package or one SDK or one endpoint that you hit, and you can kind of twirl all these different like little functionalities. That's the question I have. So that, again, you don't have to spin up Redis just to do like upvote counters or something like that. Or not, you don't even have to spin up Firebase for something like that, or a point and polygon algorithm, or even just something simple as generating an ID, UUIDs, or a crypto type hash or something like that. Simplistic rate limiting, even something like converting JSON to RSS. Every single website that I've built in the last 2 years, that are, whether that's Fish Rules, whether that's personal blogs, whether that's mainly marketing type stuff, I have to convert JSON's data into RSS. So maybe that's just something you just plug in, and boom, it's there. So that's the problem, the repeating problem. So with that idea, I built a prototype over the weekend, just to kind of, prototype's worth 1,000 meetings, as the saying goes. So I built this quick prototype just to play around. It's fully working prototype. If you want access to it to play around, just let me know and I'll get you access to it. But here's the idea. So the idea is you come to something that's similar to like a Google or Firebase or Google Cloud platform, where it's just all these services. Maybe you can search them or filter them by tags or what you're looking for. All right, so I'm going to create an API key. Test key, hit OK. Boom, there's that. Let's pick the services that this thing has access to. So we're going to do those two. Now let's go to services, microdatabase. Hello there. Let's just create that. All All right, there it is. So now I got this like little micro database. I can stuff data into it, JSON, string, whatever. And it works, by the way. Just do that. Boom, saves it. And let's get it back out. Hello world, there we go. So that's a service. Here's another idea of one. Just generate a random ID or a random set of IDs. And then boom, now I have this array of random IDs. So that I know that I'm just really rushing through this quick because it's just a prototype. It's just an idea. So, and then you know, obviously, like you can see the logs of what I just did here and what I just did here. So what if you had stuff like this? What if you had histograms? You just plug stuff in really quick and it generates a histogram. You get it out really, really easy. Email parsers, point and polygon checks. What other app primitives are there? Maybe there's front end stuff with generating CSS or generating colors. There's all sorts of little services that you see all over the place. Maybe another way to describe it is like NPM as a service. So you wrap a couple NPM packages, expose them. You don't have to install them. You just hit an endpoint and you get it. So that's the idea, the concept. I'm just kind of throwing around, getting feedback. I don't know. It was a weekend idea that I thought I'd get feedback on. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you.